Getting ready for the second half here at Colonial Life Arena. 40-29, Georgia in front. And the Dogs on their way to perhaps another 80-point game, Joe.
Well,
if you do the math, one half of 40
and another half of
2
40.
halves of 40 would equal 80, right?
And you know what we say about 80?
You win a lot of games when you get 80 points.
Well, let's just leave it at that until we get there. But one of the things I was going to tell you is we again, as we want to make sure that what we see from Georgia here to start this second half is the way they've been playing. And that'll tell you the maturity that this team has suddenly gained as we've headed down the stretch here at the end of February and into March. So let's see how we play here in these first 5 minutes. We're up by 11. We want to, hopefully 5 minutes from now, be up by more.
Second half, R.J. Godfrey will not start. He had 3 fouls in the first half, so Justin Absent on the floor. He's got the ball for the Dogs as Georgia has first touch to begin the second half. We go down low, left block to Dylan James. He works against Zachary Davis. Spinning jump hook won't go off the back of the rim. And the rebound pulled down by South Carolina. Jacoby Wright over the timeline, feeds Thomas on the right side of the floor. Lob down into the right corner to Nick Pringle, 6'11", transfer from Alabama. Up the wing it goes, back to Zachary Davis. Davis had a couple of threes in the first half. Murray Boyle's going to try one here, and that's good. Straight on three by Colin Murray Boyles, his first of the game. That gives him 11 points in the contest. And now it's 40-32, Georgia with an 8-point lead. Dogs' second touch of the half. Justin Absent dribbles along the three-point line, now picks it up. Trying to get it to Silas Demery, but Jamari Thomas was denying for a while. Finally got Demery the ball. Feed it over to Asa, and he'll hand it off to Dylan James with 4 on the shot clock. James mishandles the dribble. Got to shoot it over the big man, and he airballs it. And that's a shot clock violation. Pringle just let him shoot it at 6'10", not 6'11", but Pringle didn't even extend his arms on that play.
Well, and the shot was wide of the rim and wide of the backboard. And Dylan 0 for 2 here to start the second half, and the Dogs 0 for 2.
Forcing it up very late in the shot clock there. South Carolina's pass out of the corners tipped by James and out of bounds on the near sideline. So the Gamecocks will throw it in. 14 on the shot clock. They'll inbound on the near sideline in front court down to our left. 40-32. Georgia leads by 8. The Dogs have led throughout here in their final road game of the regular season. Wright dribbles against Demery. Right of the lane. Jump pass back to Zachary Davis. A catch and shoot three. Missed it off the right side of the backboard. Rebound to Georgia. Silas Demery with his 6th of the game. Demery left-hand dribble along the three. Feeds it to Kane. Skip it to Absent. Floats it to Asa Newell trying to come in for an alley-oop. And South Carolina blew it up. They have the basketball. Kick out to Thomas for a three from the left slot. That's all net. South Carolina with a fast start here in the second half. They've trimmed Georgia's 11-point lead down to 5.
Dogs looking for their first points here in the second half.
That three, the first basket of the game by Jamari Thomas, who averages 13 a contest. 40-35. Three ball by Demery won't go. Rebound, tap up, and a foul on Georgia.
Is that on Asa?
Did he go over the back? Yeah, they got Asa for his first. South Carolina basketball. Dylan James leaves the contest for the moment. Tyron Lawrence back in. Also R.J. Godfrey with 3 fouls back on the floor. Gamecocks down 5. They've trailed by as much as 14. That came in the first half. Colin Murray Boyle. Ooh.
Wait.
Yeah, they tap it in over the cylinder. They're going to wave that one off. Yeah, Joe Lindsay just waved. I mean, they're not even going to look at it. That was that obvious. They tapped it in while the ball was still on the cylinder, so they wave off the basket for South Carolina. It'll be Dogs ball. 40-35. Georgia looking for its first points of the half. We're almost 3 minutes in. Lawrence, left wing, moves to his right, skips it to Godfrey, right elbow. Feeds Kane on the right wing. Head of the key, it goes to Demery. Screen and roll, Newell. Silas wants to drive to the elbow, feeds it back to Asa. Open three, front of the rim, no good. Rebound South Carolina. Dogs 0 for 4 to start the second half. South Carolina almost left that ball bouncing by itself on the floor, and Asa Newell almost got to it, but we didn't. South Carolina keeps it alive, misses a three from the head of the key. Jamari Thomas has it rattle out and out of bounds. It'll be the Dogs' ball on the missed three-pointer. Godfrey feeds it in on the bounce to Demery. We walk it up the floor left to right. Dogs in black here on the road. South Carolina on senior night in their home whites. Newell with the ball above the three-point line. Skips it to his left to Godfrey. Wants to hand it off. He underhands it to Newell instead. On the wing, Asa puts it on the floor with the left hand. Murray Boyles defends, keeps him out on the perimeter. 8 to shoot. Lawrence has the ball. Changes directions. Curls left side. Floater. Good. A little short two-pointer with one hand on the baseline, Chuck, by Tyron Lawrence.
Mike White mentioned to me the other day about the maturity that he plays with and brings to the game, having already played all those years in the SEC at Vanderbilt, and how it brings a certain calmness to the other guys.
South Carolina sprints up with Zachary Davis, and a hard dribble going to roll off the foot, I think, of one of the Georgia players and out of bounds. It's going to be Gamecock basketball as we go into the under-16 timeout here in the second half. 15:47 remaining in the game. Georgia leads by 7. It's the Dogs 42, South Carolina 35 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You need all the energy you can get for game day. Luckily, at Georgia Power, we know a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Madame Giselle senses a change in your future.
Is it a promotion?
I see a door opening.
Ooh, to a corner office?
There's a creature. Beady eyes, lots of hair.
Is it my boss, Dave?
No, raccoons everywhere. Your RV door is open, and they're chewing everything.
Not a problem. I'm covered by Progressive. Do you see a bigger paycheck?
Customize your coverage with Progressive's Pest Damage Protection and be prepared for the unexpected. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pest Damage Protection available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM SEC Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. Your team is covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/SEC Radio 2025. Dogs with a 7-point lead, 42-35. Asa Newell, Georgia's leading scorer this season and top rebounder. Finding points and rebounds difficult to come by tonight. In the first meeting with these guys back in January in Athens, Asa had a double-double, finished with 17 and 10, and had 3 blocks. Tonight, Newell just 2 for 7 shooting. He's got 6 points and 0 rebounds thus far. Need to get him going, but he's working hard.
I don't think he's had a block either.
South Carolina with a basketball. They inbound down on the left end of the floor. Get it into Colin Murray Boyles. He misses a one-hander. Too close to the basket. Too much juice on that. It rolled off the front of the rim. Dogs rebound it. We've only got 2 points here in the half. We've played 4.5 minutes. Demery works left of the lane. Now dribbles away from the defender, trying to push his way back in. Cross court to Asa for a 3. Oh, didn't get the bounce and the kiss off the glass. Rebound. Demery thought he was going to get it. It bounced away from him. South Carolina ends up ripping it away. Thomas for 3. Good. Jamari Thomas had no points at the half. He's hit 2 threes here in the second half, and South Carolina, as close as they've been in eons. It's a 4-point lead for the Dogs, 42-38. Georgia led by 11 at the half and led by as much as 14 in the first half. Lawrence from the left elbow, jumper, too much, back of the rim, rebound, tapped out by South Carolina into the Georgia bench. It'll be the Dogs' ball. Georgia 1 for 7 to start the second half. South Carolina has hit 3 of their 6 shots, and all 3 are 3-pointers. Demery to throw it in along the team bench. Throws it into Lawrence on the far side of the floor. Morris Ugasuk back in for South Carolina. He defends Tyron Lawrence. Screen by Godfrey. They switch and roll, and they foul on the switch. The big 7-footer Jordan Butler just came charging in like a bull in a china shop when they switched on defense, and he just bumped back to half court. Got whistled for the foul. Butler, 7 feet tall, 240 pounds, played a year at Missouri and then transferred here to South Carolina. He's from Greenville.
I think he was just excited to be on the floor.
You may be right. Dogs with 12 on the shot clock. Newell head of the key, skips it to his right to Lawrence. Feed it into Godfrey with 7. Godfrey works against Butler, double team, throws it to the wing, far side of the floor, throws it away. RJ trying to throw it on a double team from the right block out to the left wing, high on the left wing, and it was nowhere near Silas Demery, and he tried to chase it down but ran out of real estate. Dogs turned it over. Asa checks out of the ball game. Somto had a good first half. He had 7 points in the first half, the most he's had since he had 8 against LSU. That was in the entire game. South Carolina down 4. Wright attacks, misses the lay-in on the rush to the basket. Tried to take it in right into the chest of Somto. Dogs rebounded. Demery, he attacks on the right end of the floor, and he does take it right into the chest of Butler and banks it home at close range.
And he got bumped, too, with no whistle.
Demery with a dozen. Well, we're on a time restraint tonight.
That's
Remember,
right.
SEC Network's got 3 games to get in. Colin Murray Boyles to the rack. Misses the left-hander. There's a whistle and a foul, but it's going against the Dogs, and it's going to stop the clock with 13:40, and that's on Big Somto Surreal. His second. Free throws coming for the South Carolina sophomore forward, Colin Murray Boyles. $11 points for their star forward tonight. The left-hander floats free throw number 1 up and in. He's got a dozen now, and he's 3 for 3 from the line. 70% shooter this season. He let it fly against Arkansas in their win last Saturday, 72-53. He went 11 of 12 from the free throw line against the Razorbacks. He's going to miss that one, his first miss of the night, short off the front of the rim, rebounded by Silas. Dogs lead is 5, 44-39. Georgia ball, Surreal, out on the three-point line, hands it to LeFew, and Dakota penetrates and then throws it away out high. South Carolina picked it off with Davis.
We're turning it over this half. We had 2 at halftime. And
yeah, we've got 4 here in the early minutes of the second half. Wright wants to pull the trigger on a 3. Silas won't let him. Skip it over to Murray Boyles. He's at the elbow, now backs up, puts it on the floor, crossover dribble, goes by Somto, reaches and rolls it up and in good. Little finger roll with the kiss by Colin Murray Boyles. He's got 14. It's a 3-point Georgia lead, 44-41. Demery dribbles high to the right, stops at the elbow. The big 7-footer Butler all over him. Skip it to Godfrey out on the wing. Lobs it into Somto. He's surrounded under the basket, deep under the basket, trying to break through, and he's going to force it up and in. Good. He just muscled that one up and in. Crowd wanted to travel or an offensive foul or something. They didn't like what the end result of that play was, but Somto Surreal finished it for the Dogs. He's got 9. 46-41 Georgia. Murray Boyles going to drive on Somto Surreal, draw a contact, and another foul on the big man. That's number 3 on Somto.
Yeah, Boyles was calling for that basketball. He said, give it to me, give it to me. I know what I want to do with it. So he knew exactly where he was going. He was going to go right at Sompto with it.
And the freshman is prone to fouling on the drive like that. But then Godfrey already has 3 fouls for Georgia. Picked those up in the first half as Colin Murray Boyles misses his second straight free throw. He's got 14 points to lead all scorers tonight, but has missed his last 2 foul shots. Godfrey and Surreal check out of the ball game. The Dogs insert Kane and James back in. LeFew, Lawrence, and Asa Newell are 5 on the floor. Second free throw, short off the front of the rim by the left-hander. Missed them both. Break for the Dogs. Georgia basketball leading by 5, 46-41. Try to extend it a little bit here. Asa, head of the key, skips it to his right to Kane, plays along the three-point line. Down on the right block to Dylan James. He's doubled, baseline spin, drives under the bucket, reverse lay-in, won't go, but a whistle and a foul on South Carolina. Foul will be on Jordan Butler, the 7-footer. That's number 2 on the sophomore transfer from Missouri. And that gets us into a timeout. Dogs are going to be at the free throw line when we come back. 11:57 to go in the game. Georgia hanging on to a 5-point lead. It's the Dogs 46, the Gamecocks 41 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
After investing billions to light up our network, T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Plus, right now, you can switch, keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/across America.
Up to 4 lines via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90+ states with device and eligible carrier and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With the enhanced engine performance and fuel economy of newly reformulated Tri-Clean gas from Citgo, you're good to go. But good to go where? Exotic bird shopping? To your Tuesday night bowling league?
Woo! That's a turkey, turkeys!
Good to go try your luck at bingo.
G32.
Good to go to a lumberjack competition.
I'm gonna move my car.
New top-tier Tri-Clean gas from Citgo. The most advanced fuel we've ever made. Now you're good to go.
I'm Coach Mike White, and you're listening to the Ford F-150 Highlight Show. You know what it takes to win in this game? Stepping up in big moments. That's why I drive a Ford F-150. With the ideal combination of power, capability, and smart tech, F-150 is my go-to vehicle when I need to get a project done. Talk about championship caliber. Check out the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer.
Scana Energy is a proud partner of Georgia Athletics, and for every 3-pointer scored by the Bulldogs, Scana Energy will make a $25 donation to the University of Georgia General Scholarship Fund. Scana Energy says, go Dogs, as we check the numbers tonight. Scana Energy 3-pointers for Georgia, 3 for 12. We've cooled off a little bit with our shooting. South Carolina heating up on their 3 balls. They're 8 of 18.
Yeah, they're shooting much better behind the arc than we are. That's really what's kept this thing close tonight, is their performance from behind the arc. We are doing better on the glass. We've got a 10-point lead with them, 26-16. But the second half, we only had 2 turnovers the first half. We've had 4 in the second half, and those 4 turnovers have resulted in 5 points for South Carolina. Now, their turnovers, we've gotten 0 points off of their 2. Oh, I'm sorry, they are now 3. They're 3. We've got 0 points. So, look, we got to do a better job protecting the ball here down the stretch, and we've got to do a better job. We got to start knocking down some threes.
James.
We've had good looks.
James is at the free throw line right now. Needs to knock down these free throws. Number 1 is good.
Boy, it looks like a balk, doesn't it? Huh?
Yeah, he's got that little hitch right when he gets up to his release point. He freezes for a fraction of a second, and then he releases it.
Yeah, if I'm an umpire, I'm stepping out behind the plate. And
sending the runner to second, huh? Second free throw won't go. Line drive, missed it off the rim. Dillon hasn't shot him very well this season anyway, but he hadn't shot that many. That's only his 21st and 22nd attempts of the year. He's hit 10. 47-41, though. He extends the lead by 1 to 6. Carolina basketball. Pringle whips it from the circle over to Butler on the left side. Now Wright has got it. Floats it up from the left edge of the lane. He won't go. Hall, quick rebound by LeFew. He just yanked it away from UGAAINC out of the paint on the bounce. Georgia runs the floor, gets it to Blue for a 3. Right corner, off the rim, no good. Rebound, touched out by the Dogs.
Yep,
says Steven Anderson.
Asa almost pulled down that offensive rebound. Just off the tips of his fingers, not a bounds.
South Carolina ball, 47-41. Georgia in front. The Dogs have led the entire way so far, but 11-16 remaining in the contest. Clock moving here at Colonial Life Arena. Zachary Davis lost the basketball, knocked away, bounces right to a South Carolina player. They whip it on the near side of the floor. UGAAINC's 3 blocked by LeFew, and the bouncing ball is batted out of bounds by Nick Pringle for South Carolina. It'll be the Dogs in the corner down to our left. LeFew with a blocked shot. He's at double figures in blocks this year.
Well, he's got good timing. I mean, he jumped well early, but
that's the kind of shot he blocks with consistency. Those threes deep away from the basket. He has good finishing power on his defensive effort. Asa Newell trying to work from the right block. He's going to get some good effort there. Spinning move, banked it home, and he got fouled against a double team. South Carolina didn't hold their verticality. Arms came down right on top of Asa, and it's a 3-point play opportunity for the Dogs. The foul is on Nick Pringle for South Carolina. That's his first. And Asa with his first points of the second half. And a chance for more for an and one right here. 49-41 now. Georgia by 8. They survived the first flurry by South Carolina here in the second half. But better than 10.5 minutes still to play. Free throw won't go. Too deep off the back of the rim by Asa Newell. Rebound South Carolina. 49-41, Dogs in front. Gamecocks basketball. UGAAINC takes the handoff on the wing. Drives against Lawrence across the top of the key and skips it over to Zachary Davis. Lob feed down to the baseline to Pringle. He's matched up with Asa. No shot there. Kick out UGAAINC. 3 straight on, all net. Morris UGAAINC, he's their leading three-point shooter. That's his 44th of the year. He's at 42% for the season. That's his first basket tonight. And it's 49-44 Dogs. Kane's got it in the front court for the Dogs. High right wing. LeFew comes back to the ball at the head of the key. We give it to him, and he shoves it down into Newell. He's triple teamed. Cross court, open is Lawrence for 3. Oh, it won't drop off the rim. Tap out, rebound by James, but it's collected by South Carolina's Jacoby Wright. Wright with the ball in the front court to our left. To Butler, the 7-footer, dribbles it across the top of the key, and now they come back near side to Wright. Crossover, works against LeFew. Wright drops it off on a bounce to Pringle, one-on-one with Asa. Trying to muscle his way in, and he does. He banks it home, and he gets the call. A foul on Asa Newell. The basket is good. A 3-point play opportunity for the Gamecocks, and here they come again.
Boy, they got a chance to get it within 2.
Foul on Newell, his second, both coming in this half. Tyron Lawrence heads to the bench for Georgia as Silas Demery comes back in. Also, R.J. Godfrey in for Dylan James. Pringle will go to the line for an and one, 65% foul shooter. He's had a bunch of them this season, 136 free throw attempts. He's made 89 for 65%. He was 4 for 5 against Arkansas in their win on Saturday. And he knocks that one down, his first attempt of the night, and he drains it. It's a 2-point game now, suddenly. 49-47. Dogs hanging on by one measly possession. Led by as much as 14 in the first half, led by 11 at intermission.
And Georgia now, that you've got the crowd into it, you're going to have to beat the Gamecocks and this crowd.
Demery tries to drive on the right side, fadeaway 3, front of the rim, rebound, offensive board by LeFew for the Dogs. We keep it alive. Dakota attacks in the paint, kick out to Silas, right corner. He attacks. They bump him into the paint. Fadeaway two. Good all net. Big shot, 10-footer by Silas Demery. He's got 14 in the game. And they fouled him, but there was no whistle because we're on a time limit. We got to get this game in under 2 hours. That's what the network dictated. Not the radio network either. I'm making all this up, but that's my thought. Colin Murray Boyles bumps with Godfrey on the right lane line. Fakes the baseline turn, reverse pivot, now kicks it out to right. Right with 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Tried to step back 2, and he lost the ball out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock. Turnover, South Carolina.
He was in a hurry, and he had to be. Shot clock was under 3.
See, my theory is that these games will go quickly tonight because there's a triple header on the SEC network.
Yeah, right.
At 6, 8,
right.
10. Dogs with the ball and a 4-point lead, 51-47. Demery controlling, works against Ugasuk, bumps on the baseline, feed it back to Kane for 3. Yeah. Good, all net. Scana Energy three-pointer, Blue Kane, his first of the half. That's his first 3 of the game, as a matter of fact. He's got 7, and that gives the Dogs just a smidge of breathing room, 54-47. 7:34 still to play, clock moving here in Columbia. Wright with a fake right, drives left, jump stop through the paint, tried to lay it up, and it's off the rim, no good. Rebound to Georgia. The Dogs push it up the floor in a hurry. Demery's got the ball now, swings the ball high over the head of Jacoby Wright, who had his face right in Silas's grill.
Another one.
Another 3 by Blue right in front of our bench.
Oh, when he starts feeling it, he's feeling it. He was calling for the ball, and he was well behind the three-point line.
He's got back-to-back Scana Energy threes now, Chuck.
Boy, and that makes it a 10-point. It was 2 points just a minute ago.
And Georgia wants a timeout. They'll call a 30, but it'll turn into a full right here with 7:08 to go in the game. And Georgia extending that lead back up to double figures, as Chuck just said. Georgia 57 and the Gamecocks 47. Timeout, back to Columbia after this. Bulldog Sports Network.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Creature Comforts Brewing Company is the official craft beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. These two Athens institutions have joined forces to connect quality beer with the passion and pageantry of the UGA faithful. Whether it's Georgia's favorite craft beer, Tropicalia IPA, the 2-time gold medal winning Classic City Lager, or their new Sip 'em Seltzer, Creature Comforts has you covered on game day and every day. And if you're visiting the Classic City on game day, Creature Comforts beers are available at the Stegman Coliseum and anywhere good cold beer is served. 2 brands, 1 town, 1 team. Go Dogs! Sip 'em. 21 and over. Champions drink responsibly.
Georgia basketball brought to you in part tonight by the Progressive Keys to Program Progress, providing cars to veterans in need. South Carolina had gotten it down to 2-point game, 49-47. Still haven't led tonight, but it was getting kind of scary there. And then Georgia runs off 8 straight points, Chuck, to give them a 10-point lead once again, 57-47.
Well, Silas hit that big 2. They turned the ball over, just trying to get, because our defense forced them down inside 3 seconds. And in a hurry, they lose the ball out of bounds. We come down, we hit a 3. They miss a shot, we get the rebound, we come down. Blue Cane hits another 3. There's your 8 points. And it's bang, 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 just like that. And it goes from a 2-point game to a 10-point game. And that's what we like, is it went 10 points in the right direction.
Dogs out of the timeout with Demery and Kane, LeFew, Asa Newell, and Godfrey. South Carolina with UGAAINC and Wright, Davis, Murray Boyles, and the big 7-footer Butler. And the Gamecocks will inbound it, bring it up the length of the floor, right to left. Wright on a slow trot over the logo into the front court, guarded by Demery. Moves to his right on the dribble. Screen Murray Boyles. Rolls top of the key. Little pick and pop. They don't use it. They go inside to Davis instead. He works against Asa Newell and gets the call. Foul on the Dogs.
Well, and Asa maintained the verticality. What he didn't maintain was control of his body. His body was still moving forward and collided into the shooter.
And after a short little burst of action, back into a timeout we go. The under 8 timeout with 6:53 to play here in Columbia. Score remains Georgia 57, South Carolina 47. And we're back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
With Northside Hospital, you can look forward to new beginnings, look ahead to comeback seasons, and look up for hope and strength. Northside welcomes you into our community of care, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. Led by our expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Creature Comforts Brewing Company is the official craft beer of your Georgia Bulldogs. These two Athens institutions have joined forces to connect quality beer with the passion and pageantry of the UGA faithful. Whether it's Georgia's favorite craft beer, Tropicalia IPA, the 2-time gold medal winning Classic City Lager, or their new Sip 'em Seltzer, Creature Comforts has you covered on game day and every day. And if you're visiting the Classic City on game day, Creature Comforts beers are available at the Stegman Coliseum and anywhere good cold beer is served. 2 brands, 1 town, 1 team. Go Dogs! Sip 'em. 21 and over. Champions drink responsibly.
Game day traditions start with a cup of community coffee. Proud coffee partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Family owned since 1919, Community Coffee has spent 5 generations roasting great tasting blends right here in the USA. They're just as dedicated to making a difference in the community with programs that support teachers, military service members, disaster relief, and first responders. Try Community Coffee or find it near you at communitycoffee.com.
The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. Dogs second half, although and flow a little bit. Dogs were up 11 at intermission. They've been outscored by South Carolina by 1 here in the second half, 18-17. But Georgia's lead is double digits at 10.
The thing that I think is really encouraging is that they had it down to 2. And then we ran it back out to 10. And that was with this crowd, obviously, very much. They're over 11,000 here today. And they really got into it. And behind the South Carolina team, when they had whittled it down from 11 at half down to 2. But then just like that, Georgia ran it back out to 10. And that tells you an awful lot of good, positive things about this Georgia basketball team as we head toward our final regular season game on Saturday at noon at Stegman against Vanderbilt, and then toward the SEC tournament next week in Nashville.
South Carolina staying around, hanging around, if you will, with unexpected good three-point shooting. They were 13th in the league in three-point percentage tonight, below 32%, but tonight they've hit 9 of 20. Georgia's only 5 of 17 on threes.
Yeah, 2 of those are. Well, let's do this. We're 2 for our last 2.
Yeah, those were the good ones, right?
That was blue.
Zachary Davis at the free throw line after the foul on Asa Newell got us into the timeout. And Davis' first foul shot is up and good. That's his first point of the half, giving him 7 tonight. And it cuts Georgia's lead to 9. Davis at 72% from the line this season, and he'll hit that one as well, all net. Makes them both. Carolina wants to press now. Georgia ready to inbound the basketball. It's just kind of rolling out on the floor by itself, and Steven Anderson finally has to pick it up and throw it to Dakota LeFew. Skips it into Demry in the backcourt. Ugasuk guarding tightly. Now he sags back. And Demry will trot it across the timeline right now with 21 on the shot clock. 6:44 remaining. Silas still dribbling. LeFew off a curl, goes to the top of the key. Lost the ball, had it poked away. Dives to the floor to retrieve it, gets it over to Newell. And then Asa dribbles it off his leg and loses it. It rolled right to Colin Murray Boyles. Dogs gave it away on the second go-round. South Carolina with the ball. Murray Boyles above the three, far side of the floor. Hands off to the guard right. Right dribbles. Passes to Murray Boyles, runs right into Dakota LeFew, and the Georgia guard called for a foul. That's going to give Colin Murray Boyles 2 shots, says Joe Lindsay. First foul on LeFew tonight. And that's the Dogs' 6th of the half. Clock stops with 6:13 remaining, and the lead at 8 for Georgia. Free throw by the left-hander Murray Boyles is good. He's got 15 points tonight as he approaches his average of 16.8 a game. He's 9th in scoring in the SEC. That free throw is good. He's 3rd in rebounding in the SEC and leads the conference in field goal percentage. Now it's a 6-point game, 57-51 Dogs. Georgia has not trailed tonight, trying to make sure it stays that way for the remaining 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Demry almost fouled at half court by Ugasuk. He's playing some hands-on defense. Silas with a one-handed pass to Demry. 15 to shoot. Whistle down on the baseline. Let's check a call. It's going to be against the Gamecocks. We got a holding foul away from the ball on South Carolina.
It's their 4th.
And they called that on Jacoby Wright, their guard. That's his 3rd. So Dogs reset the shot clock to 20. Well, the scorer's table will actually. Georgia will use it, though. And here we go. Demry with the ball after the inbounds and then ripped away by Davis out of bounds into the Georgia bench. So we have to inbound it again. Davis poked it away from Silas. Mike White very aggressively trying to direct traffic, get his team in the right spot on the floor on this play. Blue Canes got the ball, hugging the far sideline, dribbles it away from 2 defenders. Now drives towards the basket off one leg. He pops a 2-pointer right of the lane.
Over the 7-footer.
A little fadeaway off one leg. Dozen points for Blue. He's got 8 in this half. 59-51, Dogs by 8. Murray Boyles works against, Godfrey.
Oh, no.
He falls down, and they whistle RJ for a foul. I don't think our Joe Lindsay got a good look at that one. He was on the opposite side and saw Colin Murray Boyles fall, but it really looked like good, solid defense by RJ Godfrey from this angle. But they call Godfrey for his 4th.
Georgia's 7th.
So Gamecocks in the bonus now the rest of the way. 5:29 remaining, and Colin Murray Boyles back at the line.
I'll tell you what's interesting is the officials keep looking up at the big scoreboard. They're not replaying it, but they keep looking up to see if they do.
Another scoring opportunity for their leading scorer. He's got 16 tonight, the only Gamecock in double figures.
It was a non-shooting foul, so it's 1-1.
Free throw number 1 is good. He hits the front end of the 1-1. Now we get the bonus try. Godfrey comes out after he picked up a phantom 4th, and Dylan James back in the game. 7-point Georgia lead, 59-52. Murray Boyles with one more foul shot. The left-hander floats it up. Spins around the rim, hangs on the iron, and falls through. Made them both. $18 points in the game for Colin Murray Boyles. He's the leading scorer on the floor. Dogs with the basketball. We've got 2 players in double figures. Demry with 14, Kane with a dozen. Silas double-teamed, almost trapped on the far sideline. Peeks around the edge of the defender and gets the ball over to Newell, who will hand off to LeFew on the wing. Drives on the baseline. LeFew with 5 to shoot. To the foul line, fade away 2. Off the rim, wouldn't drop. Rebound to South Carolina, Zachary Davis. Gamecocks with the ball down 6, 59-53. Less than 5 minutes remaining. South Carolina's trailed all night long. Murray Boyles with the ball, works with Dylan James, bumps, kicks it out right for three. Back of the rim, won't go. Rebound, chase for it. Kane wins the race. Blue with the basketball. In the front court, and he's going to slow it up a little bit. Dribbles on the logo. Feeds Silas Demery. Silas will hold it. Let that clock tick a little bit. 4:26, 4:25. Dogs spread the floor. Kane out of the corner. Ugasuk trips the defender. We go to LeFew on the wing, and a foul on Butler, I think. We're trying to post up James down inside, and the big 7-footer called for a foul. That's his third. Number 6 on the Gamecocks.
Yeah, but just their 5th, so we're going to have to inbound it with 20 seconds.
So 6, not 5, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you were right.
It is 5, right?
It is 5.
Yeah.
Demery to throw it in, left of the basket at the last second. Lobs it under the bucket to Asa Newell. It's tipped out by one of the South Carolina players. I think Pringle may have gotten a hand on that. They had 2 guys defending Asa under the basket. So he'll move to the right side of the basket on the baseline there and throw it in. 1 second ticked off the clock. Shots at 19. Feed it into Asa. Wants to get the ball back to Silas, but Asa's going to put it on the floor. Through the paint, they foul again. Murray Boyles, I think, with the foul.
Yep, and that's their 6th now. So the next one will put Georgia to bonus.
Crowd a little restless with that call, but he was clearly mugging him. 4:09 to go.
Back to 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Demery, same spot to inbound it. Right baseline. High lob into Asa. Catches it right of the lane. Dribbles into the paint. Reaching jump hook. No good. Offensive rebound. James kicks it out to LeFew on the right wing. They'll throw a low pass back to Kane. LeFew asks for the ball. Gets it back. James at the foul line. One dribble Dylan. Wanted to lob it to the big man Asa, and they foul him. They wouldn't let him go up in the air for that lob towards the rim. Foul on South Carolina.
Now we got 1-1. This has been a very lengthy possession, time-wise. May end up with points.
Perfect for Georgia. They've been trying to burn that clock. It's at 3:54 now. And we've got the under 4 timeout. Media timeout here at Colonial Life Arena. Georgia's in front, leading South Carolina 59-53. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power to recover right. A delicious protein shake with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle. Champion your recovery with Core Power, proud partner of Georgia basketball. Learn more at corepower.com.
Go Dogs, sick 'em. Whether they're on the road or the home court, my family and I get loud and proud whenever the Dogs are unleashed. And this basketball season, Scana Energy, part of all the action, is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. So join my family and Scana in cheering on the Dogs to glory this season. Sign up with Scana today and get up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/GoDogs for details. Limited time offer, terms and conditions apply.
Want more exclusives and behind-the-scenes Bulldogs content, more game highlights, mic'd ups, and original programming? Search for the Georgia Bulldogs All Access channel on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Georgia Bulldogs All Access, your official inside connection to Georgia football and all Georgia Bulldogs sports.
At Piedmont, quality care changes lives. Meet Brad, a healthy former Marine who unexpectedly suffered 5 heart attacks and then heart failure. He credits Piedmont with saving his life.
The teamwork it took to provide me a path forward through a surprise heart failure and almost 5 months of intensive care in 3 different Piedmont hospitals is difficult for me to even imagine, but you guys nailed it. How do you thank someone for the gift of life?
Hear more at piedmont.org/qualitycare. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for Athens, the Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now card. To confidently show your dog pride, get your card today. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Georgia led by 11 at the half, 40-29. This game's been stuck in mud in the second half. South Carolina's outscored the Dogs by 5, 24-19, but Georgia's still hanging on to that 6-point lead. The reigning SEC Player of the Week and one of the National Players of the Week, Silas Demery, having a nice effort for the Dogs tonight. He leads Georgia in scoring with 14, also leads with 8 rebounds, and also leads with 4 assists. He has no turnovers, and he's hit a couple of three-pointers.
Did we mention that Mike White, not only was it his 48th birthday Sunday, but he was SEC Coach of the Week last week?
We have not mentioned that until
we
you just now said it.
And also wish him a belated happy birthday.
You bet. Asa Newell at the line for the Dogs. Clock with 3:54 remaining, and Georgia up 6. A left-handed Newell free throw. Bounce, roll, good. Hit the front of the rim, hit the side of the rim, and bounce through for him. Asa now with 9 points in the game. And he is 3 for 4 from the line tonight. Try to make it 4 for 5 here. Long look at the basket. He's ready. Ball's in the air. All net. Good. Hit them both. 61-53. Georgia with an 8-point lead. Gamecocks with a basketball. We go zone in the half court now. Wright trying to figure it out. They play catch with UGAAINC high. Near side to far side. Oh, cross-court pass. Nearly stolen by the Dogs. Tipped, but South Carolina controls right down the lane. One-handed floater. Rattles off the rim. No good. Rebound to Georgia.
How about that? Go to the zone, and it forces them into a mistake on the shot.
Lawrence has control of the basketball now for the Dogs. We work in the front court as we tick down near 3 minutes remaining. Demery on the wing to Lawrence, deeper in the corner. James screens. Tyron Lawrence dribbles behind it. UGAAINC defends. 5 on the clock, 4 on the clock. Lawrence picks up his dribble. James has got to shoot it. Shot clock violation. James never looked up at the clock. He got it late.
No,
he did not.
But you're right. He never looked up. He was looking down to see if he had possession of the basketball.
So 3:02 remaining in the game. Dogs turn it over with a shot clock violation. Lead by 8, 61-53. Gamecocks ball. Wright with a low pass to Pringle at the elbow. Back to Wright. The guard attacks. Kick out. UGAAINC 3. Good. Morris UGAAINC only has 2 baskets tonight, but they're both 3-pointers in this half. That tightens it up a little bit. 61-56 now. Georgia's lead is 5 with 2:34, 2:33 here in Columbia. Demery gets a screen from James. Silas drives. Pringle cuts him off, forces him into the corner. Now he's going to slow walk it up the wing with 7 to shoot. Silas explodes into the paint. Step back 2 inside the free throw line. Back of the rim. No good. Offensive rebound. Asa. Pump fake. Jump hook. Short and a foul.
Thank goodness.
He pump faked, went back up with it, caught the front of the rim, and got fouled on the play. He's going back to the line with the clock stopped at 2:13. Foul on Zachary Davis, his second, team's 8th. 2 shots for Asa coming. Newell 4 for 5 from the line tonight. Made his last 2. We'll try to do the same thing here. Georgia 61, Gamecocks 56. Free throw too deep off the back of the rim and away, no good. That's the second miss of the night from the line for Asa. R.J. Godfrey going to hustle into the ball game. Dylan James heads out. Asa rubs up the ball, places it on his right hip. In the left palm, ready to shoot. Ball's in the air. Good. Got it to go. He made 1. Missed the first, made the second. And it's a 62-56 lead for Georgia. 6 points with 2:05 remaining. Clock moving. Carolina basketball. Alley-oop lob tipped and knocked into the backcourt by Kane. He picks it up, takes it to the rack. Murray Boyles blocks his shot. Gamecocks run the other way. They've got numbers. Alley-oop lob and a dunk. Pringle. Asa Newell fell down on the right end of the floor, and South Carolina had big numbers on the other end, and Pringle finishes with a highlight dunk. He's got 11. It's a 4-point game, 62-56. 62-58. Again, the Dogs trying to hang on. 93 seconds to go. Timeout, Georgia. Shot clock was at 14. Mike White calls the time.
93 seconds left. 4-point Georgia lead. We might could have sealed it right there. We could have certainly made it very tough on them. And it just got away from Blue, it looked like. He fell. He went sprawling on the other end. He was trying to take it underneath and then go straight up with it.
I think Murray Boyle's got a good piece of his lay-in attempt. I think he blocked the shot. Checking to see if they have him for one. He's had a big game again, as you would expect. 18 points for South Carolina, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
That's exactly what he had against us.
He did get the block, too, by the way.
He had 18 points and 5 assists against us in Athens.
Pretty consistent, I would say.
Fairly consistent.
Dogs lead it, however, tonight. We've led the entire length of the game, and there's 1:33 remaining. Can they hang on for the next 93 seconds? Get out of here with consecutive road wins this season, and it would be consecutive road wins here. The Dogs won in Columbia last season when they split the regular season series. Dogs won here. South Carolina won in Athens. 4-point lead for the Dogs, 62-58. Georgia has possession. They'll inbound it on the near sideline in front court with Silas Demery. Zachary Davis, a 6'7 guard from Orangeburg, South Carolina, will guard the inbound. We feed it into Lawrence and hand it back to Silas. 12 on the clock. Walks through the center circle, close to half court. Now he puts it on the floor and drives with the right hand all the way to the rack. Running layup, good. He just blew right by their defense. They had no answer.
Boy, nobody was there. Nobody was there to pick up Silas.
16 for Demery. Dogs 64. Gamecocks 58. Oh, a foul way away from the basket out near the ball near half court on Godfrey. Did they call that on?
Yes.
That's 5 on RJ.
He's done.
RJ Godfrey 5. Fouls out.
I don't know what that call was.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 for South Carolina. But Georgia's going to take a little time after they've had a player foul out of the game. Well, RJ's run into a string of foul trouble in these last 2 games. He had 4 against Texas. Was only able to play 8 minutes and 4 seconds in Austin on Saturday.
We come back with Dylan. It'll be Dylan James.
Yeah, they go with Dylan. We, of course, have Sompto Surreal and Justin Abson on the bench available. But we put Dylan back in the ball game. So Georgia not real big right now on the floor. 6'11", Asa Newell is our biggest. And then Dylan listed at 6'9". Murray Boyle's at the line. Free throw number 1 is good. He hits the front end of the 1-and-1. And this is how he does a lot of his damage. He's 8 of 11 at the line tonight. 19 points. Second free throw. Try to cut the Georgia lead back to 4. The left-hander puts it up and in. Timeout, South Carolina. Lamont Paris wants to use one here. The third-year South Carolina head coach calls time.
They'll ask him to hurry this up because 8 o'clock is quickly approaching.
That's right.
And that is the bewitching hour for these officials.
There's 1:11 left, and they said no overtime is allowed because we'll have overlap. If there's overtime, there's overlap of our 6 o'clock and our 8 o'clock tips. There's 71 seconds remaining here in Columbia.
They stack them up on the SEC network to tip at 6, 8, and 10. Well, the only one that may be headed to overtime is that 10 o'clock game. But they put themselves in a position where they're going to have to take a look at that at the end of the year because these earlier games, sometimes you do have Don Daly working the game or any official where they have to go to the monitor a lot and they drag on. We've had some, games that went 220, 230, and longer. And those games then delay the tips or push them to another venue on your TV dial.
Yeah, usually they'll start it at their scheduled time, but it'll be streaming that second game. They drive you to a website or an app or something along those lines, but a lot of fans from those games miss the beginning of their game if they're not ready to switch. I don't think we've had any reviews here in the second half. We had a couple, I think, quick ones in the first half, but none in the second half. Well, we're trying to finish up here. South Carolina uses a timeout, 1:11 remaining, and it's Georgia 64, South Carolina 60. Dogs led by as much as 14 in the first half, 11 at intermission. South Carolina's outscored the Dogs by 7 here in the second half. Georgia out of the timeout with Lawrence, Kane, Dimry, James, and Newell. South Carolina with Murray, Boyles, Pringle, Davis, Wright, and Ugasuk. And he will guard the inbounds. Fed in by Tyron Lawrence. He can move along the baseline, which he does. He skips it in to Silas. They double him on the baseline. Jump pass to Lawrence. He gets it over the timeline now into the front court. We've got 62 seconds to go and a foul, South Carolina. They fouled Tyron Lawrence, so they're going to put him on the line. Murray Boyles with his second foul of the game. That's their 9th.
We're still 1-1, so
it'll be that for Tyron Lawrence. 79% free throw shooter for the graduate transfer from Monticello, Georgia. Lawrence at the line for the first time tonight. The left-hander floats it up, draws a lot of iron, but it falls through for him. Free throw is good.
Big free throw.
That was. 65-60, Georgia. Lawrence with one more. South Carolina will sub out Pringle and get the 7-footer Butler back in the game. Free throw by Lawrence. Good. Hit them both. Two big shots by Tyron Lawrence. 66-60, Dogs by 2 possessions.
They try to roll it in. Silas going to make them pick it up.
Now the clock begins to tick. Less than a minute to play. Carolina basketball in the front court. Wright with a head fake and a drive. Oh, swatted out of there by Dylan James. Wright tried to lay it up from the left side, and Super Dylan came flying in from right of the lane and just swatted that ball out of bounds on the left baseline, and South Carolina wants a timeout again.
Yep, they had 2 left. Now they'll have 1 left. Georgia's got 1 left.
30-second timeout.
And the folks at the SEC Network are sitting there sweating bullets going, what will we do? What will we do?
What they always do. We'll start the next game. You'll just have to go somewhere else to watch the beginning if you're still watching this one. We hope you're still listening to this one. 53.8 seconds remaining. Georgia by 6. 66-60 is our score here. 126th game in this series. Georgia trails in the series by only 3 games. South Carolina's won 64. Georgia has won 61 times. The Dogs won that 61st game in the series last month in Athens. 71-60 was the final there in a late January game. They won in Columbia last year here for the first time in 8 years, and they won that one. It was a tight game then, as they usually are here on this floor. It was a 5-point Georgia win. Let's grab a station identification break. Pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Bulldogs Sports Network. South Carolina to inbound, left baseline, right. Shovels it into Murray Boyles. Oh, a late whistle. Oh, my goodness.
Very late.
He missed the lay-in, and a late whistle on Dylan James from Bart Lennox. They call the foul on the Dogs, put Murray Boyles back on the line. Not sure what he's doing. He's standing in the paint acting like he wants to shoot. Georgia's trying to block his shot. And Dimmery's like, what's he doing? He wasn't at the foul line. He was standing in the paint trying to put the ball in the basket. And Dimmery was trying to deny him. And now Steven Anderson has to talk Silas off the ledge a little bit. He was a little miffed by that. Not sure what Murray Boyles was doing.
I know what that was. I know what he did there.
Little karma there as he misses the foul shot.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, quit screwing around. Butler out of the game for South Carolina. And who checked back in for them? They've got Wright and Thomas, UGAAINC, Davis, and Murray Boyles on the floor. Second free throw, missed them both. Well, Justice served. Dogs rebound with Lawrence. 49 seconds to go. It's a 6-point Georgia lead. Middle of the floor to Asa. Drives towards the basket. Floats it to Dillon. He don't shoot. He will kick it into the corner to Blue. Misses a three. Offensive rebound. Put back basket. Dylan James. It's good and count it. He got fouled. He's going to the line for an and one.
There's the dagger.
68-60. Georgia by 8. Try to go up 9 with Dylan James going to the line with 38.4 seconds to play. I'm not sure what Colin Murray Boyles was doing at the free throw line back on the other end, just goofing around before he got to shoot.
Yeah, and Silas really took offense to it. I mean, you know.
James, free throw, good, and one. 9-point Georgia lead, 69-60. 35 seconds to go. Gamecocks basketball. UGAAINC for three, right corner. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound touched out by South Carolina's Zachary Davis as he fights Demery for it. It's going to be Georgia basketball. 29.6 to go. Dogs trying to get their third consecutive win here. A little early March Madness for these Bulldogs. One game to go in the regular season. That'll be Saturday at noon against Vanderbilt. Long half-court heave, actually across half-court to Blue Kane. It was about three-quarter court. Lawrence just shoved it down the floor. Kane went up high and caught it, and they foul quickly. 28.8 to play. Blues got 2 shots coming. That's the 11th team foul on South Carolina. And some of this crowd of 11,633 climbing the steps, heading for the exits. Kane, free throw, good.
Yeah, this one's over. Blue at the line now has a chance to put us all that work that South Carolina's done here in the second. We're going to be right back where we were at halftime. 11 points up.
And we want to thank the Macho Man for the Slimmies.
Yeah,
we're undefeated when he brings Adam and Chuck Slim Jims. Free throw good by Kane. He hit them both, 14 for Blue. 27 seconds to go. Georgia back to an 11-point lead. Murray Boyles runs it against Asa Newell. Late foul on Asa. Late as in late in the game, not a late call. He kind of pinned him under the basket and bodied up on him.
The other one was a late call.
It was against Dillon, yeah. But Murray Boyles missed those foul shots. Maybe he'll goof around some more and miss 2 more. He's got 2 right here. And that one's going to bounce in off the front of the rim and roll home for him. Good. 21 points now for Colin Murray Boyles. 10 for 15 at the foul line. Second free throw is all net. Made them both. And it's back to a 9-point Georgia lead, 71-62. 22.8 to go. Lawrence to inbound to LeFew, and they foul him quickly with UGAAINC. 2 hands in the back, pushing him toward the baseline. Stop the clock, 21.8 to go. March down to the right end of the floor and shoot a pair.
Yeah, 2 shots now for the Dogs.
And the Mount St. Mary's transfer from Hampton, Georgia, Dakota LeFew at 6'4", will go to the line. 78% shooter this season. Was perfect on his free throws in Texas. He was 3 for 3. Had an 11-point game in the win over the Longhorns. Free throw by the right-hander is good, all net. Dakota now with 5 points tonight. Dogs with 3 players in double figures, led by Demery's night of 16 and 8 and 4 assists. LeFew hit them both.
Boy, just stripped the net with both of them.
Dogs cashing in at the free throw line here to maintain that lead here late in the ball game. 73-62. Dogs are 21.8 seconds away from their 19th win of the season and 1 step closer to an NCAA tournament berth. Carolina into the front court. They hand it to Murray Boyles. Dribbles through the legs, pushes against Newell. Spin move, get another call as he misses the leaner on the right lane line. Bart Lennox didn't get the memo from the SEC to tell him to quit call fouls when the game's locked up.
Well, I see the trouble. He's not wearing a wristwatch.
That's 5 on Asa Newell. as both Newell and Godfrey have fouled out of the ball game for Georgia. Mike White trying to get the attention of the rest of his team to huddle up while they make a substitution. And finally, everybody straggles over into the huddle on the Georgia bench. 13.7 seconds to go. Gamecocks will be at the foul line. And it'll be Dylan James to come back into the ball game. Kane, Lawrence, LeFew, James, and Demery are 5 on the floor, with the free throw regular, Colin Murray Boyles, back at the line. His 17th attempt tonight. It's good. 12 of 17, my goodness. No wonder he started the night with having 160 foul shot attempts this season. Well, that one's good as well. He made them both. Makes the score a little more respectable. South Carolina will get Austin Hero into the ball game. Former walk-on redshirt freshman from Milwaukee. The brother of the former Kentucky standout, Tyler Hero.
Yeah, the crowd giving Murray Boyles a big hand.
Yeah, that's just so long here in Colonial Life Arena, at least for this season, for the sophomore.
And this is going to be it.
Dogs inbound the ball, run out the final seconds on the clock. They won't shoot. They'll dribble it out. Ty Lawrence will hold, and the clock hits 0. The horn sounds, and the Dogs are winners tonight here in Columbia, South Carolina. Back-to-back years, 3rd consecutive win by Georgia, and back-to-back road wins over the weekend in Texas and tonight here in Columbia, South Carolina. Your final, Georgia 73 and South Carolina 64. The Dogs, Chuck, now 19-11. That sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
And 7-10 in the SEC.
Yeah, 7-10. Got a chance to finish 8-10 in the conference. And that'll be a deadlock given this conference for the NCAA. And with this win tonight, I think you can pretty much rest assured Georgia will be in the NCAA tournament. What we need, though, is to close it out strong on Saturday with a win over Vandy. Get that 20th win. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, that 4th win in a row. We are clearly playing better basketball down the stretch here. And listen, it was not pretty in the second half, Scott, and I'm not going to try to put lipstick on that pig. But what was great to see was that when South Carolina cut it to 2 points from 11 at intermission, got it down to 2 with still time, plenty of time left, like 5 minutes left. They got it to 2. And then this crowd was berserk, getting behind them because of the great comeback. And then Georgia went, not so fast. And boom, they run off 8 quick points with 2 from Silas and 2 threes from Blue. And just like that, we're back out ahead 10. And from there, we never look back.
Oh, it's so much fun to play with the lead, isn't it?
I'm
Georgia
telling you.
Wire to wire.
Downhill. This guy knows a little something about it.
Second straight game, the Dogs go wire to wire. Silas Demery joins us.
Yeah.
Silas, congratulations.
Hey, man, which one of y'all was over here killing a Slim Jim? That was you.
These 2 guys. Hey, that's good luck.
Hey, man.
That's
bring
the
it
magic
again.
charm right there.
Hey,
you want one?
Pal, tell me. You got to tell me. They got you. Were
I can't hear.
You were ahead by 11. Can you hear me now? Remember that commercial? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There you go. We were ahead by 11 at the half. They cut it to 2 with about 5 minutes to play. You hit the little 2, Blue 2 quick threes, and just like that, you guys went from 2 up to 10 up. And I think at that point, game was over.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, South Carolina is a very good, well-playing team. Tip their hats off to them playing us hard. They play very well at home, and we knew in the game plan that they weren't going to quit. They weren't going to lay down. Going into the half, our biggest thing was just be ready for a punch. They're going to make adjustments and just be ready, man. And I think the coaches gave us a great halftime talk, great adjustments we made, and we came out here, we responded to their punch and their swing, and we came back with one of ours. And I would say probably around that 9-10 minute mark when we threw our punch back, I think we took over the game.
And Silas, 2 straight games now, you guys have not trailed at all. Going back 3 games, you've only trailed for 40 seconds. How important is it for you guys, and how does it feel to play with that lead and the other team trying to catch you guys all the time?
It definitely feels very well. I mean, obviously, you never want to be down in the game. You always want to be up. But I think we've just been ready to be down in the game and make a quick swing and protect that lead. I think we put a lot of pressure on teams when we go up because now they got to fight and claw, exert a lot more energy than they want to, and we can kind of execute and get stops. I believe in us 10 times out of 10, man. I believe in us all the time.
Congratulations, by the way, on SEC Player of the Week and one of the National Players of the Week. Congratulations on
sir,
that.
I appreciate it.
It was a terrific effort. And what's been the key for this turnaround here in the last 4 games?
I'd probably just say our confidence in our swagger and just having faith that we can believe. I'd say my biggest thing is just trusting in God, and then obviously we have our chaplain Nolan. He's been big on just trusting in our faith, believing in our faith, and just pushing through the finish line. You know, we want to finish on the top side of the regular season going into Vandy. We want to try to get another big win before the season closes. So
let's just do it then.
Yes,
on
sir.
Saturday.
Silas, one more thing before you get out of here. What was happening at those free throws with Murray Boyles when he was monkeying around?
They tried to give him the ball. Shoot some, I'm like, what are we doing? We never do that.
You were defending.
Yeah, we never do that.
You were on all the time. I'm glad to see it, my man. All right, congratulations, Silas.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us, bud.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Electrifying player of the game, Silas Demery, with us. It's brought to you by Georgia's Electricians, IBEW, Local Union 613. He wasn't having any of that.
No, he was defending it.
I love it.
Hey, if you're going to give him the ball there, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to defend him.
Silas Demery finished the game as Georgia's leading scorer. He had 16 points. Tonight he had 8 rebounds. He was our leading rebounder, and he was our top assist man. He had 4 assists, no turnovers, 33, almost 34 minutes on the floor. Another fine performance by Georgia sophomore Silas Demery Jr. All right, Dogs win it tonight, 73-64. Stay tuned now for the Regions Locker Room Report. Get your Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Dogs now 19-11, improving to 7-10 in the SEC. One more game to go in the regular season. That'll be Saturday at noon against the Vanderbilt Commodores. They play Arkansas tonight in the late game. That's a 10 o'clock Eastern time start in Nashville. Stay with us. We've got more right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Dogs do the improbable, the unthinkable, the unbelievable. They beat Arkansas and go wire to wire to win the SEC tournament.